Are you living within this scene? A silence heavier than 1,000 screams. An invisible wall erected between two souls who once pledged themselves. Every word becomes a blade, every silence an abyss. You ask yourself, what has happened to our love? You believe these conflicts are signs of failure, proof that your marriage is slowly dying, and you are not alone. Statistics show that about 41% of first marriages in the United States may end in divorce. 1/3 of married individuals say they are unhappy in their relationship. These numbers are not mere data. They reflect the silent suffering, the disappointment, the brokenness present in millions of families. The feeling of being trapped in a cycle of quarrels and distance is a common experience, a pain many of us know all too well. But what if I told you that all you believe about conflict is wrong? What if the most painful quarrels, the most desperate moments, are not the end of love, but its beginning? What if marital conflict is not an obstacle to be avoided, but the very threshold, pressing and necessary to cross on the path to the deepest spiritual awakening? This is not empty consolation. It is a truth distilled at the intersection of depth psychology, modern neuroscience, and the millennia-old wisdom of Eastern traditions. This proposition directly challenges the belief that a happy marriage is one without conflict. It offers a completely new perspective. Conflict is not the enemy of love, but the catalyst necessary for the growth of each person and of the relationship itself. In this video, we embark together on a journey of exploration. We will peel back the layers of everyday quarrels to reveal the psychological roots deep beneath. We will uncover how childhood wounds and the shadows within the soul unconsciously govern your relationship. And most importantly, we will learn practical tools to transform the shards of conflict into a foundation for deeper connection and an inner freedom you have never known. This is not a way to fix your marriage. This is the way to transform it into an alchemical crucible where you and your partner can grow and awaken together. This journey will equip you with a detailed map to navigate the turbulent seas of marriage, not to avoid the storm, but to learn how to surf its waves. Most quarrels arise from trivial matters: money, children, household chores, extended family. But these are symptoms. They are the stage upon which a more profound drama unfolds. Dr. John Gottman, after decades of research, identified 4 communication behaviors that can predict divorce with over 90% accuracy. He called them the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, harbingers of relationship collapse. 1, criticism, not merely complaining about behavior, you didn't take out the trash tonight, but attacking the person's character, you're always lazy and irresponsible. Criticism turns a specific issue into a permanent defect, attacking one's essential self. 2, contempt, the most dangerous horseman. It transcends criticism, recognizing disgust and disdain through sarcasm, rolling eyes, or demeaning names. For example, "Oh, you're crying again? So weak." Contempt attacks the value of the other person, creating a toxic environment where love cannot survive. 3, defensiveness, a natural reaction to criticism, but it is actually a form of blame shifting. "It's not my fault, you just nag too much." Defensiveness does not solve problems, it escalates conflict and blocks any effective dialogue. 4, stonewalling, withdrawing from the conversation through silence or leaving the room. It is not apathy, but a coping mechanism when overwhelmed. Yet the other person interprets it as lack of care and refusal to connect, indulging a destructive feedback loop. These 4 horsemen are not the root problem. They are the surface manifestation of a deeper conflict, a reenactment of our unhealed wounds. So, if the 4 horsemen are mere puppets, who pulls the strings? The answer lies deep in our unconscious, where 3 powerful forces shape every interaction: the ghost in the machine, attachment styles. Early experiences with our parents have created an unconscious blueprint for love. In adult relationships, nothing triggers conflict more than the pairing of the anxious and the avoidant. The anxious fear profound abandonment. When feeling insecure, they pursue through criticism. "You never care about me." In truth, it is a cry for help. "I'm afraid you will leave me." The avoidant fear being controlled and losing freedom. When pressured, they retreat through stonewalling. "I need space" truly means closeness threatens my safety. This is a destructive dance. The more the anxious pursues, the farther the avoidant withdraws, which in turn triggers the anxious to intensify their fear. Both are victims, governed by past fears, battling one's shadow, Jungian projection. Carl Jung called the disowned parts of ourselves the shadow. Instead of recognizing these in ourselves, we project them onto our partner and react emotionally there. You suppress your anger. You become irritated when your partner is angry. You reject vulnerability. You react with contempt when your partner shows weakness. As James Hollis said, an intimate relationship can never be better than our relationship with ourselves. Our partner becomes the mirror, reflecting all that we have not resolved within. The hunger of the pain body, echoes of past trauma. Eckhart Tolle calls it the pain body, a field of negative emotional energy from unresolved past hurts. When a current trigger resonates with old pain, the pain body is activated. It hijacks the mind, creates negative narratives, and feeds on the very suffering it produces. The tragedy unfolds when one person's pain body activates the others. Then it's no longer two mature humans communicating, but two pain bodies attacking and fueling each other. Hence, the argument over the bowl isn't really about a bowl. It is the dance of abandonment, fear, and control fear, the battle with parts of ourselves we despise, and the feast of unresolved trauma. Psychologist Viktor Frankl once wrote, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and freedom. In marriage, your partner's words or actions are the stimulus. Our automatic reactions, the four horsemen, driven by past fears, are the prison holding us in suffering. That space Frankl speaks of is not abstract. It is a real moment, an escape hatch from the loop of destructive reactivity. But how do we step into and expand that space? The answer lies in an ancient practice now validated by modern science, mindfulness. Mindfulness is more than a relaxation technique. It is the ability to observe, non-judgmentally, what is arising in the present moment. Mindfulness is the supreme tool to create and expand Frankl's space. It allows us to pause, observe the emotional storm within, and not be swept away by it. Remarkably, this spiritual practice has measurable physical effects on the brain. To understand this, we must consider the phenomenon called amygdala hijack. When your partner says something hurtful, the amygdala, the brain's alarm center, immediately triggers a fight or flight response. In that moment, your rational brain has been hijacked, causing you to say and do things you later regret. Here, mindfulness performs its miracle. Neuroscience has shown that regular mindfulness practice can literally alter the brain's structure through neuroplasticity. The prefrontal cortex, PFC, the brain's CEO, becomes thicker and stronger, helping us regulate emotions and control impulses. The amygdala dampens in activity, so we react less to stress triggers. Mindfulness is not a vague belief, it is a physical training for the brain. Each time you observe the breath instead of shouting, you are reinforcing neural pathways in your PFC, literally building Frankl's space within your brain. Mindfulness also allows us to intervene at the very start of the suffering chain. In Buddhist teachings, an important concept is Vedana, raw feeling that arises immediately upon contact. Vedana has only three tones: pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Crucially, Vedana arises before the mind labels and constructs the complex narrative we call emotion. In the chain of causation, Vyana Tana, craving aversion, dukkha, suffering. Consider a quarrel unfolding. 1. Contact, you hear criticism. 2. Vedana, a pure unpleasant sensation arises, a tightening in your chest, a flush in your face. 3. Tana, the mind automatically reacts with aversion to the unpleasant sensation. 4. Dukkha, anger is born. Mindfulness allows us to intervene at step 2. Instead of automatically hating the unpleasant feeling, we simply observe it. By observing Vedana non-judgmentally, we sever the chain before it becomes tanha. We remain in the space, witnessing the unpleasant feeling come and go without acting on it. This is true freedom. Understanding the mechanics of conflict is one thing. Changing it is another. This section offers concrete practices to transform your marriage into a laboratory of awakening, a space to heal and grow together. One of the greatest misconceptions about love is the ideal of merging into one. Yet Dr. David Schnarch presents a revolutionary proposition. The goal of mature marriage is not fusion, but differentiation. Differentiation is the ability to remain yourself, your values, your beliefs, while deeply connected to your partner. It is the ability to self-soothe your anxieties, rather than expecting your partner to do so. Schnarch argues that conflict is not a failure, but a necessary forge for differentiation. The pressure of disagreement forces you to stand on your own ground, becoming a more whole person. A conflict-free relationship is often one where one or both have sacrificed themselves to maintain peace. To practice this, Schnarch proposes powerful, though sometimes uncomfortable exercises. Hug until you relax. Stand holding each other without leaning. The goal is to face and soothe the arising anxieties in prolonged intimacy until you relax completely without losing yourself. Sex with eyes open. Practice maintaining eye contact during intimacy. This exercise forces couples to confront discomfort, transforming sex from mere release into a profound practice of presence and connection. Dr. John Gottman points out that the difference between happy and unhappy couples is not whether they argue, but how they repair. Repair attempts are any actions aimed at stopping negative escalation and bring the conversation back on track. They can be humor. Oh, here we go with our familiar dance again. Taking responsibility. I'm sorry I overreacted. Can I say that calmly? Expressing vulnerability. I feel attacked. Can we pause a moment? The key is sincerity and timing. The sooner a repair attempt is made, the more likely it will succeed. Try embracing a powerful perspective. See your partner not as your adversary, but as your indispensable spiritual fellow traveler on the path to awakening. They are the only one who can reveal your blind spots, activate your deepest wounds so they may be healed. They are your harshest teacher, but also your most devoted. When you view the other through this lens, the nature of conflict changes. It becomes not a personal attack, but a shared practice, a chance for both to look deeply and mature. To turn theory into practice, 2 structured communication approaches help create safety. 5. Imago dialogue focuses on healing childhood wounds. The listener performs 3 steps: reflect, repeat exactly what the partner said, validate, acknowledge the reasonableness of their view, and empathize, endeavor to feel and express their emotion. 6. Nonviolent communication, NVC, a language of compassion for expressing truth without blame. It involves 4 steps: observation, describe specific behavior; feeling, express your emotion; need, state the underlying need; request, make a clear, doable ask. These tools are powerful, but can be misused. Spiritual bypassing is using spiritual concepts and practices to avoid facing uncomfortable emotions, saying, "That's just my pain body speaking," to dismiss your partner's hurt, is not awakening. It is avoidance cloaked in spirituality. True awakening is the courage to stay with the heart's chaos, to face your wounds rather than using spiritual concepts to deny their existence. We have traveled far, from surface quarrels to the unconscious dynamics beneath. We have seen that conflict is not a sign of failure, but a sacred signal. It shows us exactly where we need to heal and grow. The goal of marriage is no longer to achieve peace, but to build a conscious marriage. A conscious marriage is one where each conflict is welcomed as an opportunity for mutual reflection, healing, and awakening. It is where difference becomes an invitation to deeper understanding. Your home becomes a monastery. Every difficult conversation becomes meditation, and your partner becomes your most profound spiritual teacher. This journey is not easy, but it is the most worthy journey. If this video has sparked a glimmer of hope, a new perspective, begin today. Start with observation. Start with listening. If you wish to continue exploring this path, please subscribe and join our community. Share this video with those you feel may need its message, and comment below to share your own story. Because the community of fellow practitioners is not just part of the path, it is the whole path. Together, we can transform wounds into wisdom, conflicts into gateways to true love and inner freedom.